Okay, so today, BLM in Louisville was, well, let me back up for a second. So, an armed group, an armed BLM group was in Louisville protesting today, as well as a bunch of other places, but they, BLM hit a new low today, being an armed group harassing children. So, I'm going to play a couple of videos and show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's pretty disgusting.
Do something black today with your white privilege besides cheer. Do something black today with your white privilege besides cheer. The reason why you get to be here in these pretty gorgeous outfits with your gorgeous hair, your gorgeous dome, is because of your white privilege. Brianna is dead. Black mothers are burying their babies while white mothers send their daughters to cheer competitions. Black mothers are burying their babies while white mothers send their children to cheer competitions. Do something black today with your white privilege. Thank you. Do something black today with your white privilege. Thank you. Do something black today with your white privilege besides cheer. Do something black today with your white privilege besides cheer. The reason why you get to be here in these pretty gorgeous outfits, your gorgeous hair, your gorgeous dome, is because of your white privilege. Brianna is dead. Black mothers are burying their babies while white mothers send their daughters to cheer competitions. Black mothers are burying their babies while white mothers send their children to cheer competitions. Do something black today with your white privilege. Thank you. Do something black today with your white privilege. Thank you. Black mothers are burying their babies while white mothers send their children to cheer competitions.
So that's a new low, even for BLM. But I mean, not like they've ever had an issue with violence against children. If people remember this story, South Carolina woman Ariel Robinson beat a 3-year-old to death after tweeting about her white adopted children's privilege or some nonsense. You know, but I don't understand how any, you know, me personally, if it had been, whoever called the cops, probably told them that that there's an armed protest, and there's a bunch of kids here or something along those lines. Me, I would have just said, there's an armed group out here uh, harassing children. But that's just me. I pretty disgusting that this is happening. I just had to make a video about this because this is getting way out of hand. But yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what. I don't really have any other words for that than, you know, there's there's no reason that they should be engaging with and yelling at children. That that just that really might be one of the worst things that they've done. Yeah, when I saw that and I heard there were kids crying and they're terrified. They're terrified of these scumbags out here. I'm not even sure why they're out here. Like what has changed? What is nothing happened. Nothing that I've heard about anyway. But I hope people realize just how insane this is. An armed group yelling at children. Absolutely, it's definitely a new low for them. I don't see how anybody can support that. It's it's pretty it's getting pretty bad. But yes, I think that there's definitely some Civil War vibes because at the beginning of this video, it looks like a little bit of a standoff. You know, this guy with his little Keltec shotgun. But in other news, oh, here's something else. The Portland Public School headquarters was damaged in an arson attack. So what Antifa's got is Antifa's got a problem with public schools now. They're trying to burn. I I don't know. Not sure why. There's got to be something. There's more to this story. I would. I'm kind of waiting to see what the details are on that because that sounds kind of odd even for them. But this really blew me away. And there's more people when you look at where is that guy? I think he's this guy right here. Look at how he's standing. That guy's carrying. That guy's definitely carrying a gun, and he doesn't even. When you first get a gun and you're when you're concealing and everyone people kind of stand like that when they're kind of nervous, when they're carrying a gun. Look at him. I guarantee you anything that guy's carrying too. And I bet there's more. But, you know, I don't understand how these people don't look at themselves weird when they're standing there with guns yelling at kids. That's But anyway, in other news, they passed the 1.9 trillion COVID bill. It's all garbage. It's, just keeps just keep printing that money. Don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. So here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm getting so sick and tired of hearing about these various groups with their Biden regret. You know, they're I don't know if they're just brainwashed or what the deal is, but this is just the latest one with Biden regret. They some something I'll do with the Hyde Amendment or something. I really don't care. I'm not, you know, but to it's just another group to get in line with crying about Biden lying. It's why should I care? I don't even know why I'm mentioning it, but it just it it's very annoying at this point. All the people are like, "Oh, Biden lied to us." Well, you know, maybe if you weren't so blinded by your fake outrage towards the orange man, maybe none of this stuff would be happening. You know, Eh, if nothing else, you could have realized that Biden's been a politician for the last 50 years and hasn't done anything positive for anybody ever. So why would it change? Why would he do the things that you want him to do? You know, in this letter they say that the Biden campaign reached out to them, and then as soon as he became president, nothing. And also, since when were the pro-life people voting Democrat? Seriously, that alone blows my mind. But yeah, whatever. I don't really have much else to say on that. But you know, the whole thing is the whole country is burning down, and they're complaining about this. I mean, BLM's out there yelling at children with guns. It In Portland, they're firebombing trucks. DC is still under occupation against a you know against a vague, non-existent threat. You know, and people think that we're not. States are talking about seceding. Trucks are getting firebombed. Armed groups are yelling at children, and y'all don't think that there's a civil war coming? Come on. Things are only going to escalate, and they're going to keep escalating until the whole thing snaps. But maybe they're right. Every revolution, a lot of it comes down to food. People can't eat, so you know maybe once the because the housing crisis is still, it's still coming. There's, eventually people are going to have to pay that, all that money that, they keep putting off for, the mortgage moratorium and all that stuff. It's all just going to come back and bite people. It's insane. So, you got that coming. You got the hyperinflation coming. You got all of it. And they're gonna, and they're, $1,400. What's that gonna do for anybody? You know, if you're if you're unemployed thanks to the Democrats and you're 6 months behind on your mortgage, $1,400, it's nothing. This is, it's absurd. Not to mention that $1,400 is just gonna create more problems in the time in the near future. But they don't care because they don't have to deal with it. They're always going to have. They're always going to be okay. People are going to keep voting for these people. So why do I? Why do I care? I don't know. I really don't know. But I think I'm gonna leave it there because. But if I had one thing to say to people is just try to become more self-reliant, I guess, because our little American experiment is unraveling right before our eyes. And I don't think that it's it's not going to get fixed with Biden and his $1,400. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.